Hi everyone, welcome back. In this session, will be talking about Control G, Go to Special, but before talking about the applications of Go to Special box, which I have just talked in very brief in earlier sessions, I need to discuss a quick recap of the range selection techniques. When I say range selection, I mean the shortcut keys which helps me choose the data sets. Now, shortcut key 1, just a quick recap, Control A, that will help me choose the data, but it may not be appropriate given that there are so many blanks. So let me start with dealer number, Shift Control right, keeping Shift Control pressed all times. Let me go to down, down, down arrow. So it helps me choose the entire data block. If you have chosen extra data, don't worry, keeping Shift Control press up arrow key. Now you may say there are so many blanks, could be 500 such blanks, what to do in that case? So besides Control A, besides Control Shift right down, there's one more shortcut key. If I choose the dealer number and I press Shift Control end key, END, end key. Now in some of the laptops you may have to activate the function key to press the end key. So Control Shift end key. It may choose the last data cell that has been used in past or in current, and let's say you may have a data like this. Now this is just a discrete data lying there. If I use Control Shift End, let's see what happens now. Starting from dealer number, Control Shift End key, it may choose certain extra data. Never mind, after you have reached till this point, use Shift left key one at a time, Shift Control up or just Shift up. You may have to try with different combinations to optimize the timing, but these are the three set of shortcuts that I'll be using in my subsequent sheets. Let's get to the main point, sheet 7. Alright, it seems in a single moment I have thrust upon you such a big data, and in fact in real life you would find that data 100 times bigger than this exists. Alright, now the point here is I see a lot of errors scattered across. Before I want to take a printout, before I want to send this to someone, I want all these errors, which may be because of erroneous formula, which may be that the data is not available, should disappear, should be deleted. Now how do I do that efficiently? Let's find out. If I choose the data block, Control A, and somehow I'm able to select all these cells which have errors in them simultaneously. All I need to do is press delete key, and I'll be able to do that by pressing Control G. We had seen this earlier, Control G, special what? Special those cells which have formula with errors in them. So I'm choosing only the box containing errors, nothing more. Formula with errors, let's see what happens. Okay. You'll notice all these error-laden cells have been carefully chosen by Excel, all grayed out. All I need to do is press delete key. Gone? Give it a try. And in fact, you may have wanted to color these cells yellow rather than deleting them. So instead of deleting, you may simply go to Home and yellow. Let me press Ctrl Z. Now just keep in mind that after having used Ctrl G, go to Special, do not choose any other cell, because if you do, all the selection will be removed. So repeating the exercise once again, Control A, Control G, special formula with errors in them, not the genuine formulas, only the ones with errors. Let me use delete key to get rid of them. Now another aspect, let's say at this point in time you may be faced with a data which has so many blanks, and your junior was supposed to fill in these blanks and send the report to you. Now how do I keep a quick track of what is missing? Let me choose the data, Control A. Let me go to Control G, special, and choose blanks. Now this time all the blanks will be chosen. Of course you cannot delete it because there is nothing inside the cell. What you may want to do is you may want to give it a light gray color. So at a single glance I can see these are the data that is missing. Same, Control G, special. That's not all. Let's say some junior instead of getting the genuine numbers from the system just to tally the numbers and save his weekend, he may have added certain formulas, something like this: equal 200 plus 3. It looks fine. Let me send this to you. Now, how do I, amongst these money data, find how many of these cells contain formulas which I am not able to see from the naked eye? Technique is Control A, Control G, special. This time do not go to blanks. This time do not go to formula with errors. This time I am going to formulas which have answers. Answers in numbers, in text or logics. Okay. At this point, some of these cells have been marked gray. So let me give them a different color. Let's say yellow. And you will notice certain cells have been chosen. Let me find out why. Double click. Yep. This is a formula. Double click. Even this is a formula. All of these yellow cells contain formulas, which was my prime motive to get hold of them. So you can use Control G formula with errors, without errors, and blank. And in fact, the application doesn't end here. There'll be more applications, one of which I'll be discussing in this session in the next sheet, sheet 8. Alright. Now, sometimes when you get the data exported from ERP, several ERPs, SAP or maybe Oracle or maybe Tally, depending on the version, you may be getting data like this. This is just an excerpt where you may have the dealer or the vendor name or the project ID code, and there may be several transactions which may pertain to that particular dealer. Now, unless you fill in this gap with dealer 1, dealer 2, dealer 3, etc., you will not be able to apply sort, filter or pivot table or any such analysis in Excel. Now, most of us end up dragging this down. Now, since this was a number, the autofill feature alphanumeric series is working. Now, let's say if I press Control, keeping it pressed, and then drag it down. But that, if I start doing it for the next set of dealers, it's going to be quite tedious, especially when you're working with an MNC and you would have more than 50, 100 vendors. Now, how do I fill those in? Let's find out. So I'm choosing dealer number, pressing Shift Control, down, 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 down. Again, you can also use Control Shift End key. Let me show you the one that we just discussed a few minutes back. So Shift Control End key, it will choose extra data. I agree. Let me minimize the data selection by using Shift and left arrow key. One more. Now I need to fill those blanks with a formula. The formula which should suggest that please refer to dealer 1, please refer to the cell above, something like this, equal to dealer 1. And the next formula, when I copy paste it down just before dealer 2, all these cells should be pointing to the cell above it. So this is the logic that I'm going to feed in all these blank cells. So after choosing the data, in whatever way you find comfortable with, Control G, special, blanks. Now what blanks does, as we know, it will choose the blanks. Now do not press any other cell or key, because if you do that, the cell selection will go away. So do keep this in mind. Control G, special, blanks. Without selecting any other cell, simply press equal to and choose the cell above it. Let's say dealer 1. Now do not press enter, because if you press simply enter, only one formula will appear. Let me press Control Z. Let me press not enter but Control and enter together. You'll notice all these formula filled in, and that's adequately reflecting the dealer names. All these are formulas, as you can see. Now you may find this a bit confusing. Why are we using Control Enter? To make it simplified, let's say if you had data like these, yes, and you want to have this in all these cells. Apart from normal copying pasting, you could have done in another manner. That is, choose the blank cells, yes, Control Enter. This is exactly what I've used out here. Let me press Control Z few times and show this technique to you once again. So after choosing your affected regions of Excel, something like this, Control G, special, blanks, okay. equal to whatever the cell on top says, let's say dealer 1, and next in line is to press Control Enter. Now this is not over yet. Why? Because tomorrow you may delete one row or one cell. The moment you do that, the next cell says please follow the cell on top, and which is obviously blank. So I want to replace all these formula with actual values which suggest dealer 1, dealer 2. So just in the last session we had discussed paste special value. So I will start from dealer 1, shift control down, copy the entire block. Now on top of the same selection, you may right click and say paste special in such a manner that only values are pasted, not the formulas. Okay. Once you do that, even if you delete any one dealer, the rest are sticking intact. So that was Control G, one of the options, along with Control Enter. We'll talk more about Control G in the next set of modules, as in when we come across different complex problems. So signing off, see you in the next session with probably sort and filter.